everything's going to start from our ads. Sometimes we run bandit sign ads, and sometimes we'll always run Craigslist ads. Sometimes the bandit signs and the Craigslist coincide together. We also have a front yard sign ad. Now every ad will have a phone number that goes to the same Google Voice account. Once we determine from the Google Voice account which prospects we're going to be calling back, then we'll want to move into our script for the rental property. And the script goes like this. So we'll call them up and we'll ask them, "Hi, this is Craig Barton from Easy Home Buyers. You called us on the rental property on Freeman Avenue. I just want to let you know what we typically look for is steady income. We're also looking for people with no violent criminal backgrounds, no violent felonies in the last 10 years, and good jobs is all you need. Bad credit could be okay." So we'll start out just letting them know exactly what they're going to need and what we're looking for. Now, once we do that, we'll want them to ask them a couple of questions. First and foremost, the most important thing is their job. So we'll ask them, "So what type of work do you perform?" And so we'll just write that down. "So is that hourly or salary? What do you make per month?" They'll usually tell you that they make a certain amount a month, but we want to verify that by asking them if it's hourly or salary. So once they say it's hourly, then obviously we'll want to ask them, "Well, how much an hour do you make and how many hours a week do you work?" Now once we discover that, we'll ask them how long they've actually been on the jobs. If they had any convictions, what type of convictions they have. So once we get past the above questions and it sounds like they have a decent job, they're making good enough money, we're always look for 3 times the amount of the monthly rental. So for example, if the monthly rental was $1,000 a month, we would look for $3,000 in income. But it's not always imperative that we have that much income. They can make less than that, provided that they seem like somebody that's responsible and they've been making $1,000 a month payment in the past, and we can verify from their previous landlords. But once we get past the next set of questions, what we'll want them to do is we'll tell them to drive by the home and look at the setting of the house. You can look through the windows on some of them. Some of them we don't want them looking through the windows, but some of them might have tenants in it. Some of them might be occupied at the time. Some of them might be vacant. So this is only a candidate that we feel is ready to go in the home. Now let's just suppose that these candidates said, "Well, I make $10 an hour and I work 40 hours a week, and that's only $1,600 and the rent's $1,000, well then we could stop the conversation at that point. So we're going to say, actually we look for 3 times the amount of the rent. So you won't qualify for this property, but we'll call you when we do have a property that you qualify for. And sometimes we do. Now, provided that we've gotten this far so far, I guess, for lack of a better word, we'll want them to, before we waste a lot of time, we'll want to make sure that they want to move forward on the house at this point. So we're going to have them drive by the house, check out the setting, maybe look through the windows, and then give us a call when they see the house. Now, sometimes, not all the time, depending on where the house is and depending on the situation with these people, we will actually, if the house is vacant, give them the lockbox code to get in the house. So what we'll say is they want to see the house. We're not going to be able to meet them at the house at this point. We want to see if they really like the house at this point. So we'll have them go out to the house. We'll have them give us a call while they're at the house if they like the setting of the house. So they go to the house, take a look at it, they say they like the setting, we tell them to give us a call. They call us up, then at that point, I take their information from you. Okay, what is your full name? What is your address? What is your driver's license number? Those three issues, for lack of a better word. And we also will ask them, is this your phone number that you're calling from? Okay, so we want to know. They might be calling from their friend's phone. So we want to know if it's their phone number they're calling. Once we get that information, we'll give them the lockbox code. Typically, our lockbox codes are Those are the 3 lockbox codes we use a lot of times, but they could be different depending. So we give them the lockbox code and we explain to them, go ahead and look around the house, check it out, and then lock it up and shoot me a text as soon as you come out, because a lot of times neighbors may call us saying that there's somebody in the house. We'll always let them know that there is a connection around that neighborhood, and those people around the neighborhood may know that doesn't look right. So let them know that the neighbors sometimes call us, so we need to know that they're there. That's one of the reasons why we don't give them a lockbox code until they're at the door. We never text them a lockbox code, we never give them a lockbox code until we know they're at the door and we know that they left. And a lot of times we'll do this with a few people and then we'll change the code. So this is how we deal with people without wasting a lot of our own time. So once we determine that they want to move forward with the house at that point, what we'll do is say, okay, we'll have a special meeting. A lot of times I like to meet them at obscure places like a Staples or an Office Max, somewhere where we can make copies, a Federal Express. So depending on where we're at on the certain day, and depending on where they're at, I'll try to line it up to make it as easy on both of us as possible, and we'll set up an appointment. Now, once we set up that appointment, this is not an appointment, this is an application receipt appointment. So there's an application receipt that we fill out, and this isn't a formal appointment at this point. We're only going to take a deposit, we're going to have an application receipt agreement filled out, and we're going to take their application at that point. So this is not doing the final paperwork. It's only taking a deposit and their application. And we want to get this as soon as possible. As soon as they know that they like the house, we want to meet them even that day if we can. So just to reiterate what we're talking about here, once they get to the house, we give them the code, they come out, they like the house. Immediately what we want to do is get the appointment to get a deposit is what we need. So we've pre-qualified them. We know they're a good candidate at this point. We had them see the house. They know that they like the house at this point. Now, the most important thing of this whole process is getting a deposit. So we'll fill out an application receipt agreement. We get the information that we need, which basically is their name and address and stuff, and the address to the house. And we fill out the application receipt agreement. We meet with them right away. We get a deposit from them, and we take an application from them at that point. And then we're off. We come back home and our rental process has started.